Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it yet again. Welcome to another edition of the Sepsiss Show. Music, art, culture, technology, current events, social media, and more. We are a hard rock band and a heavy metal band from Manchester, New Hampshire. We are also speakers, activists, models, podcasters, streamers, and content creators. So a little bit about what we do on the show. We cover the topics and conversations, some challenges, music promoters, musicians, and people in the music industry are sometimes too privileged, too proud, or simply just too well behaved to mention, reveal, or discover. So we take on some of the more challenging conversations about the music industry. We also cover music, a little bit of art, some current events, technology, and we talk a lot about social media because we are a social media band. If it wasn't for social media, nobody would ever hear of us.
That's definitely true. Shout out to Facebook.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I shout out to the people that are there. I mean,
On
I don't.
Facebook,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it takes all the people to be on a platform for the platform to be anything.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I mean, they could be somewhere else, for instance.
That's for sure.
After all, the internet is a place where people go when their talking points and perceptions don't hold up as well in the real world. If your goal visiting us here on our band page is to seek wisdom and speak the truth, it's in your best interest then to be persuasive. Conversation is, after all, the key ingredients and recipe to hope. Never trust anyone that attempts to convert questions of the truth into questions of power. It's dry in the studio today. Have you noticed that?
It is a little bit, yeah.
Holy crap!
The heater's been on like crazy for the last 24 hours, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Truth seekers and truth tellers, they have to be persuasive because people know, you guys all know, that truth seekers have to be persuasive because generally speaking, the population in society doesn't like hearing the truth. And that's why we must be persuasive. Study us, hate us, or love us. Welcome to the Sepsiss Show. Okay, so we do have some band news. We are releasing a song.
Yeah!
We had to take off, we had to take last week off of the podcast because we had to do some last minute edits and some mixing and mastering with our wonderful producer, Mr. Glenn Robinson. And, boy, he did a great job on this. The song comes out February 11th. And it is a song condemning ICE, the billionaires, and the Epstein class. You got to check it out. It's called No Kings for a reason. It is definitely a song that is condemning the president, that's condemning pedophile protectors, billionaires, oligarchs, and misogynists, racists, the Klan. It is an anthem. And you guys got to check this out. It's February 11th. The song will be available to stream everywhere. And the thing is, if you are a subscriber or you are a yellow jacket, which basically means a subscriber or a Patreon. If you guys don't know what that is, there are various ways that you can support the band, that you can donate to the band. There are various ways and platforms and applications where we introduce like bonuses, behind the scenes material, how we do our recordings. We bring people into the studio with us. We bring the cameras in the band practice, when we shoot music videos, just wherever, Um, and that's our way of contributing and giving back to the people that donate to us. But there are various ways that you can donate and contribute to our career. And becoming a yellow jacket, that's what we call it, is one of the ways. Like here on, if you're watching from Facebook, you can subscribe to the band. And by subscribing to the band, we give you free music. We send you some gifts in the mail, autographs, different things like that. You'll have to tell Melissa. She's always updating that. So ask her about that. Tell her you're interested. But one of the features of being a yellow jacket or being a subscriber or supporter of the band at this level is you get to hear our music right when we get it. When we get new music or we complete or we finish new music, not only do you get to hear us making it and putting it into demo form, not only do you get to see us recording the actual song, when Sepsiss completes a recording, a demo, a master, our fans, not radio stations, not A&Rs, not record labels, not your mother, our real and true authentic fans are the ones that get our music first. So the people that have been contributing to us, donating to us, investing in the band, those are the people that get our music first. Those are the people that we deliver it to them. If we print or we make vinyls or CDs, we make sure that this quality of fan, that these people in our lives are the very first people to get our music. So that's just a standard. That's something that we've always done here. And before we send it to any radio stations, before we upload it to the internet, before we make music videos or we give our original completed music to DJs, we give it to our fans and top supporters first. Yeah.
True. It's awesome.
Yeah. So
Become a yellow jacket.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. You don't have to do that. That's not something that like we require people to do or we're forcing on people. That's if you choose to do it, you can do it for a day, for a week, and then we're not going to hold it against you if you find something else to do. There are many causes and much greater causes and needs in the world where people need your help. So it takes a village. Rock and roll's cool, but there are people starving to death and freezing to death. Mm-hmm. People are living check to check. Even bands, even some of your heroes and bands and favorite comedians and actors and actresses and people like that. In this time, there are many people. You might be surprised to find out that are living, weekly or monthly, just trying to pay the bills. So we know that about ourselves, and we know that about you guys out there. So everybody take care of each other. That's all there is to that. And other Sepsiss news, is there anything else? Of course there is.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
We got shows, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So yeah, and I'm just reading here. Our first shows of the year, March 6th, will be in Vermont at the Stone Church. That'll be fun.
I'm excited to go back to Vermont.
Me
to
too.
Play the keyboard this time.
I know, you're playing a whole different role.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, actually, everybody is.
Yeah. Aren't you doing something a little different yourself?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yes, I'm playing bass.
Woot.
Not really though, because I'm gonna play my guitar. It's gonna be confusing to people, but I play guitar in the band, and we don't have a bass player right now, but I have a machine. Okay,
mm-hmm.
That when I plug my guitar into it, it sounds like a bass.
It's really interesting technology.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing bass.
Yeah, you're technically going to be playing a 6-string bass.
Or it's a batar. How do you want to do it? It's either bass or batar.
I like bass. I'm not going to lie to you.
So for the first time ever,
Let the people decide.
yes, come and see us March 6th at the Stone Church. Well, I will be playing the bass. Of course, it will look like my guitar. And then, and if you haven't had enough of that, then you could see us the following night, March 7th, at the Magic Room in Andover. And this time I got it right.
Yeah. And you also brought out
Right?
the accent. Woot.
Wait, did I get it right? Andover?
Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Andover.
But that's the right town, though, is what I'm saying. Let's be
Northwood.
Are you serious?
I think I saw.
Are you serious? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
But I think it's near Andover. So
Why do I keep saying Andover?
Because I think this particular place is near Andover.
Oh,
Like
my
it's
God.
in close proximity to Andover.
People have been telling me, and here's the thing: like people will see me online and they'll be like, "William," and I'm like, "What's up?" And they'll be like, "You're not playing in Andover." I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, so I think
So I'm not playing, and you're not playing, and nobody's playing in Andover. So drop it.
book a show in Andover.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I keep doing that.
Honestly, I'm sorry too because
Did you do it?
I have also said the same.
You said Andover?
I've said Andover, yeah.
And I'd love to play in Andover, don't get me wrong. But we're not.
Not this time.
We're
no.
playing in
Northwood.
Northwood. And that's really where we're going to be.
The Magic Room.
We have some room booking in April. Of course, I don't know if we want to do that. But approach us if you think you have a good show. May also. We could book a show in May. But I'm not going to book a lot of shows in New England, and I'll tell you why in a moment.
Okay.
Thursday, June 25th, we'll be at Cosmo Joe's Atomic Lounge in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. I've never been there or in Ohio at all.
Yes. And we will be doing a whole breakdown of the Ohio run. Not today.
Maybe next time.
So we're going to do a whole breakdown of it so we can have a whole I want we got to do like an Ohio special. So we can, you know what I mean? So we can get with all of our friends there. We'll have a hub. We'll have a nucleus.
Ohio nucleus.
Yeah. But that's where we'll hang out,
Yeah.
in the nucleus.
I like that.
I'm just coming up with stuff
Let's
as I
hang
go
out
along.
in the nucleus.
Okay.
I like that.
But we'll be in Ohio the 25th, 26th, and 27th. So you'll have 3 chances to see us. It's going to be great. We're going to be with Circle of Snakes and Living Dead Girl. That's happening. But we'll have a whole, like I said, we'll have a whole episode nearly dedicated to that. Yep. And we do have more shows. July 18th, we'll be in Biddeford, Maine. Hopefully I got that right. We'll be in Biddeford, Maine at Rumors. And we'll be talking more about that. All of these shows are female-fronted like showcases or events. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
We're not doing this on purpose. It's just happening that way.
Mm-hmm. The girls want to work together with the girls.
Mm-hmm. And from what I hear, July 11th, we will be in Salem, Massachusetts, from what I understand.
Ooh.
But that we haven't formally announced that. But you can put that on your calendar.
Mark it with a question
wait.
mark.
Yep. August, we're still working on stuff for August. I can't really talk about that. Hopefully we will be in New York for August. That's what I'm really hoping for. I don't want to talk about that too much because everyone gets their hopes up and then it doesn't work out. We got some space in September if anybody wants to play some shows. Generally, we like to take October off. I'd like to see that still. But, the door's not completely closed. And everybody knows November is Swarmy Fest. If you have a band, if you're in a band, and you want to play Swarmy Fest, this is about the time when we start hitting the internet, hitting the pavement, and talking about this year's Swarmy Fest. First to see if people want us to do it, if people want to come out. And, of course, if you guys at home, the bands and people in the region want to play, then, we'll probably do it. If we do it, it would be the 5th annual.
It would be exciting.
That's like an anniversary.
Yeah, half a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
And with that, the best way to book with Sepsiss, if you are a band or a promoter and you want to book a show with us, we are probably the easiest band to contact.
Definitely.
We might not always be the easiest to book, and that's because I try not to oversaturate like booking dates or shows that are too closely in proximity to each other. I hope that makes sense to everybody at home. We don't want to try to play a certain venue or a certain place too often. We also don't want to disappear either for too long. So there's that too. But bands or promoters that want to book with us, there's a basic profile that we look for, So bands that we like to book with respect us, genuinely like our music, mutually or match our excitement for marketing or partnering up or participating with each other. So if you don't match up with us with kindness or decency or general excitement for building shows with us, if you're not excited about Sepsiss, then we're not excited about you. I think it's worth it to do your homework a little bit. We're not the kind of band you want to book with unless you do your homework. Do your homework. Make sure that your goals are lining up with ours. When we're booking with other bands, we go and check them out. We used to call it band stalking. But, we would go and just do a general deep dive and see where a band's playing. We'll do a few scrolls to see if they're not worshiping the devil or burning crosses or got swastikas on their face. Stuff like that. So do your homework, share goals, and a general mindset for business and standards. That doesn't have to be with us, but I just think that that's good. I think that that's good advice anyway. The best way for bands to play or book shows with us is to actually go to some of our shows. I can't tell you how many times a year members of other bands will hit us up or send us messages, which I love. I don't want to discourage anybody from doing that. But talk with your band first. See if you can get your band on board. See if the members in your band would like to play with us. The best way to book or play with us is to come to one of our shows to see if you like the music, to see if you like the atmosphere. With a band like us, we also bring a small audience. So to love us is to also to love our audience. You don't got to go to every show. Every show's not a rager. But the best way, if you're in a band and you want to book a show with us, then come to one of our shows and see us play and support the band. We book with the bands that are fun to book with. Bands that respond to text messages. If you're a band and you don't respond to text messages, then we don't want to book with you. And it's not because you're a terrible human being. It's just because we need to get to people professionally, urgently and promptly sometimes, especially at load-in or when you have money on the line, when you're marketing or advertising, or we need people to reach deadlines or show up at the radio, stuff like that. So we book with bands that Sepsiss books with bands that prioritize fun. Right? So
Yeah.
our whole goal and one of the main items on the menu for us being in a rock and roll band is to have a great time. If people aren't having a great time, if the audience isn't feeling safe and people don't feel appreciated and well taken care of, then people don't want to go to shows. You know?
Yeah. That's 100% accurate.
So that's why fun is a big part of our priority. Again, this isn't for all bands, it's just for us. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because of the overwhelming amount of people that I've gotten this year who are interested in playing with us. And I think that that's great, especially a lot of new bands and people that we've never played before. But Sepsiss books bands that prioritize fun, audience, and promoting safe spaces. We also book with bands that book us. You want us to book some shows? Would you like us to book a show and invite your band onto one of our shows? Then come to one of our shows or book us for a show. I mean, it's much easier to get behind someone when they're getting behind you. You know, when it's mutual and people are excited about what you're doing, then you become easier to root for. You know, it's easy for us to root for the bands that are cheering us and encouraging us and rooting us on. So if you like some of the shows that we put together and you want to be a part of that, then maybe when you and your friends are putting together a show, and this is good advice for other bands too, not just us as far as this goes. Like, if there's a band you want to play with, book them for a show. You know, maybe they'll return the favor. One hand washes the other. Bands should book with other bands that contribute to each other's growth.
Mm-hmm.
We have been limiting booking shows in New England and especially New Hampshire. It will be increasingly harder to book shows with Sepsiss locally and regionally unless the bands on the bill are working tightly together, sharing a game plan, and generally taking care of each other, helping each other succeed. Those are the bands that we want to book with. We want to be able to book with bands that are easy to get behind. We want to book with bands that are easy to support. Bands that have a definition and an idea of how to succeed. Those are people that we admire and look up to. There's nothing shameful about being in a local band. But if you're going to be in a local band, then be in one of the biggest local bands you can be in, everybody. And sometimes that takes working together. Instead of just the tradition of being in a local band and just jumping on shows. And there's nothing wrong with that. We jump on shows, and we have bands jump on shows. That's a tradition. But in addition to the tradition of just jumping on shows, we have been building relationships with bands and people in a deeper way, where we share and understand everyone's goals, and everyone is working, on the same behaviors and attitudes. People recognize each other, the bands recognize and respect each other, share the spotlight, share the stage, and they also share a sense of decency, humanity, and value. New England does have a tradition of hiding and ignoring its most talented neighbors. I was never really interested in winning like band battles. I've never really had any motivations for getting a Grammy or even charting on billboards. Like you see a lot of the bands that want to do the charting on the billboards. They're going for the big awards and band battles. A lot of bands build their resume and they authenticate themselves by getting a few spins on local radio or Octane. Or you hear of all of these installations into the music industry, all of these conduits and introductions. I think most artists are skipping a step, Lexi.
What step is that?
See, for me, the most prestigious award that we could get as a local and regional band was the New England Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
It's New England.
Mm-hmm. It's where we live.
It's let's keep it real. The hardest people to get to go out to a show are your coworkers, your family members, the people that you grew up with and went to school with, the hardest people to get to support you locally is your closest friends.
Yeah.
That's the hardest people to get to support a local band, is the neighbors. You know, you see these posts on Facebook that say, who's the most underrated band? It's like the one living in your town. Who's the most talented, underrated band in New England? The one that you ignore. That's the most talented band. Everybody out there, you know who the most talented, underrated band is? The band that plays every night in the backyard.
Yeah.
The bands that play in your city and put up flyers and you ignore them. Those are the most talented people. Those are the most underrated. Those are the most talented people. The people in your state, your neighbors, the people that live right next door to you, the people that you ignore. While you're all out chasing celebrities and legends, the most talented inventors, the most original, talented people live right next door to you, and you ignore them every day. Something is special about being in New England. You know, it's a six-state region. You know, it's a competitive place, but collaboration really does happen at the top. So you really see the best artists and bands in New England understanding this. So deep down, when it comes to Sepsiss, specifically to our band, I knew no matter how good our music was, no matter how well Sepsiss plays their instruments, the fact is, in New Hampshire, in New England, we all know New England well enough, and we know our neighbors would never give us the credit we deserved. The credit that we got from the New England Music Awards, we knew our neighbors would never give us that credit. And that's why the New England Music Awards was the most important thing to us, because we know how nasty and competitive neighbors can be. We know how unsupporting people can be. So fuck a Grammy.
Yeah.
Forget the Grammys or charting on billboards. For us, the most important thing that Sepsiss has ever achieved in the music industry is winning the New England Music Awards 3 times. Because we know that our neighbors would never give us the credit.
Absolutely not.
They wouldn't do it for each other, so they definitely wouldn't do it for us.
It's the truth.
It's easy to be a hater. Everybody knows that. It's easy to be a hater. It doesn't take any originality. It doesn't take any talent. And it's the easy way out. Low frequency.
Very low frequency, like 2 thumbs down.
What do you think about that, Lex? Did you like that?
I did. You told the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth, so I'm going to tell it.
All right, I'm just going to do these 2 editorials real quick. Hopefully I can put these somewhere. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do it. I'll try to put them at the end if they don't fit.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna cut this. We're gonna cut all that last part out. With that being said, Lex, we'll get to our first story. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I think I need to lower this. There we go. Take a break on that. Do you want to read the first story?
Yeah.
If it works. What is this? This is not correct. Okay. Oof. That's tough. That's not supposed to look like that.
You want to refresh?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, is that happening? Jeez, this is a. Let's make sure there's no. Usually these guys are good, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now I just, we cover this stuff just to keep up with everything, but I'm not keeping score.
Yeah. TikTok generated 1.8 billion euros for the EU music business.
Ew.
EU. EU.
No, I'm just saying. You said the EU.
Yeah, the EU.
Ew.
Ew. Ew.
Okay.
Music business in 2025, according to TikTok. TikTok themselves. TikTok releases a study showing that the platform generated billions for the EU economy last year, including 1.8 billion for the EU music industry.
Ew.
According to a new study conducted by independent economic analysis from Public First and commissioned by TikTok, businesses advertising on TikTok generated 31 billion,
Wow.
which is 36 billion in US dollars, in economic output across the EU in 2025. That includes 2.6 billion for the creative economy and 1.8 billion specifically across the EU music industry. Public First estimates that creators and creative industries generated 2.6 billion in additional value last year, supporting around 52,000 jobs in the sector across the EU. That reflects activity across content creation, production, and advertising services linked to the platform. In particular, the music industry has benefited from TikTok as a platform for discovery, illustrated in the report's findings of 1.8 billion in additional revenue driven by streaming, live shows, and merchandise across the EU. For emerging acts, TikTok can play an increasingly important role in helping artists build sustained audiences. Overall, the report finds that $31 billion or euros in economic value generated across the EU includes 7.2 billion in economic output in Germany, 52 billion in France, 3.6 billion in Italy,
Jeez.
3 billion in Spain. Holy crap. Okay. 920 million in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
More than 6.5 million EU businesses use TikTok to expand across borders, generating approximately 400 million in productivity savings through more efficient marketing. The TikTok Commission study draws on evidence gathered through new business and consumer surveys and economic modeling, combining data from Public First surveys and available third-party data.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot to say. It examines how TikTok drives economic growth by helping businesses reach customers, generate revenue, and strengthen local economies. The report comes at a pivotal tone for TikTok and its parent company ByteDance amid broader scrutiny from regulators in the EU and beyond.
Okay.
So the EU is making some money, I guess. I don't know.
So what have we learned, though? We've learned, if nothing else, you don't have to be an expert. You know that these apps are making a ton of money off of original music, musicians, and creators. So you can't
You can't say they don't.
And you can't say that you haven't been told.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to college for this. It's just clear that if you've ever thought that there wasn't any money in music, this is the contrary. I'm showing you the contrast. I'm showing you, oh, there's money. And go ahead.
It's just not going to who we think it's going to.
Well, it's not going to the musicians.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what I want to point out. That we're always like, we're led to believe that, especially in independent music, that there's no money, and musicians should get a real job because there's no money in music. But then when you go over articles like that, it reminds me that the apps and the developers, and even joining forces with the largest record companies, they know how to make money off of the musicians, don't they?
They just don't know how to pay them.
And like laws, okay, the apps can be bent and broken and hacked, okay? Think of laws like apps, and think of apps like laws. Think if corrupt politicians and lobbyists, think of them a lot like sick developers and hackers. Okay? Think of politicians and lobbyists and oligarchs. Think of these manipulators much like laws. Think of the politicians and lobbyists and laws much like the developers, the coders, and hackers with apps. They manipulate and throttle all of the apps where the authoritarian framers have special privileges and technical advantages. Where authoritarians and the framers are the authors. Authoritarian.
They author.
The same way that Daniel Ek can throttle Spotify, the same way Elon Musk can boost and throttle his own authored posts on Twitter. Does that make sense?
Authoritarian.
So they're all just taking advantage of the fact that we all don't own our own internet that we can author. They're all taking advantage that we all don't own our own spaces and worlds like Twitter or Truth Social. Okay? All the real billionaire and bully breeds have apps of their own. You notice that?
Yeah. They always have their own social media app or their own tech company or something.
Yes. This, and I bring this up in terms of the same way you can look at the government or other systems or institutions where you see this type of abuse. Okay? Taking advantage of the fact that we're all not billionaires, that we're all not lawmakers, authors, and coders. You get that? That's why Huey Newton said, that's why Huey Newton said, an unarmed people are like slaves or subject to slavery at any given moment.
Real shit.
Interesting, right? Oh, we got another same one. Oh, this is so fucking weird.
Oh.
You tell me about this. I don't even know about this. You tell me what you think about this.
Okay. Wow.
The plot thickens, everybody, on suspected AI singer Sienna Rose. I guess that's her. I guess the plot is thickened.
Oh dear.
What do you think about this?
She's suspected as an AI singer.
Yeah, I guess so. This is
interesting.
I'm gonna let you read it,
Okay.
and then I'll give you my take.
Soul singer Sienna Rose may be an AI artist, but she says she feels real. So what's the deal with the mysterious singer with millions of streams? Sienna Rose popped up seemingly out of nowhere and already has 3 smoky, jazz-infused songs in Spotify's viral top 50, a sign that she could become one of the hottest new stars of 2026. But signs point to Sienna and her music being AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
Deezer, the France-based music streaming service, which developed tools last year to tackle AI-generated music, said in a statement to the BBC that many of her albums and songs on the platform are detected and flagged as being computer-generated. Moreover, as the BBC points out, Rose has no social media presence, has never played a gig, has no videos, and has released an improbable number of songs in a short space of time. All are signs that indicate that the artist isn't real.
I mean, and neither are the followers either.
Right.
What is the fascination with chasing debatable content?
Clickbait.
I'm just not interested. I'm not.
Right.
It's not even good hype.
Like maybe like she's a new up and coming singer and she hasn't played a gig yet and is booked for something, and maybe she made all those songs stacked up from her starting out.
To me, though, this is the hype and marketing technique that they get people to click on stupid shit like this.
This is crazy.
Is that we all go back and forth and debate whether she's real or not. If she was a real human being, we wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
So
why are we stuck on that? Yeah.
And why? What is? I'm actually sincerely looking for support here. What is the obsession? What is the fascination with debating whether things are fake or not? What is it? What is that? I really don't know what it is. And along with this article, it's a hell of a marketing ploy for the dumbest and boredest people. Where people got to go, you know what, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to go see what? If
You're
she's
go see
real,
for yourself, like you're a private investigator.
but you're not seeing anything. When we look at Spotify, we don't know if the numbers or the follower count is real. We don't know. So when they talk about her having lots of views and support, we can't start a conversation that is built with common sense.
Especially when you're saying Spotify and knowing what you know about Spotify in itself.
A computer made a computer generated artist, and it's had computer generated success. What do you want me to do with that? How do I support? Let's pretend that I'm somebody that's interested in supporting something like that. How the fuck do I support something like that?
I don't think you can.
Like, look at it from my point of view. That nice lady, Renee Good, got shot in the face the other day. And you're telling me we're all going to walk around and hang out with our AI boyfriends robots and slaves are going to be sitting around the house folding my laundry for me.
You guys are disturbingly complacent.
We started this entire band and we started this podcast to educate people, to use the platform and teach people how to confront racism, how to stand up against police brutality, cyberbullying, fake scams on the internet, people hijacking their music, misogyny, sexism. And like I don't really want a world where my Xbox is managing my dates in my love life. I don't want my PlayStation figuring out how to date for me. I don't want my cell phone folding my laundry and doing my house chores. And I don't want my computer generating musicians for me only for my computer to listen to it and then grade it on, and then the computer's going to like grade it on what standard? She has millions of seemingly millions of fake followers follow a fake artist on a computer program. It's just, what the fuck?
And then you're going to go make articles based off of that?
With
This
all
is mind-bending.
It is mind-bending. When you think of all of the people that have been in their bedrooms for the last 6 years studying violin, people that have mastered actually playing the bass, it's sickening to me that people would rather put their gadgets and devices and computer files before their next door neighbors. They would rather see a computer file or a cosplay Elvis, or people are interested in seeing Tupac on a hologram rather than just going to discover new rappers. It seems it'd be more satisfying with all the talent out there that gets ignored. And like none of this shit is like really free either. Like they charging people for this crap.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of money too.
It's interesting to me. I'm gone on that one. I don't even know. I don't even have any cool like William things to say. I don't got nothing to say about that. I have no fucking clue.
We're both at a loss for
That
words.
shit is. I have no clue. I have no good advice for people. If that's what you're doing, I'm not. I mean, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to belong or be a part of any groups that force or manipulate other people, individuals, or groups into thinking or doing anything that I think or do. I don't want to be part of any groups that tell other people what to do with their life. I don't want to be a part of any religions, armies, gangs, mobs, societies. I don't want to be a part of any more groups. I don't give a fuck what you call it. Call it a patriot, call it democracy, call it religion. There are no groups out there that I want to be part of. If they're a group of people that force their ideas and beliefs on another group of people, I'm not part of that group. I'm part of the group that doesn't do that. We're going to allow it.
For the very first time.
You want to do this one?
Yeah.
I got to process that last one.
Record labels, Spotify sue private group Anna's Archive over scrapping and brazen theft of millions of tracks.
Surprise, surprise.
Right after what we just read, too. Last month, a decentralized group of online piracy websites called Anna's Archive revealed that it had scrapped approximately 86 million music files from Spotify and planned to release them via BitTorrent. Now, the three major music companies, Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Music Group, and music streaming giant Spotify, have filed a lawsuit against the shadow library operation. The complaint describes Anna's archive as formerly known as the Pirate Library Mirror and accuses it of brazen theft of millions of files containing nearly all of the world's commercial sound recordings. This sounds a bit hypocritical. I'm just going to say that. They sound like hypocrites.
Oh, like now they don't like it.
What are you guys, Donald Trumping? Like,
Yo, now they don't like it.
what the fuck?
This is when I say the music industry is not the music industry. It's courtrooms and litigation and crime and stealing. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's hypocritical
Yes.
in the biggest way.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Oh my God. It's crazy. I don't understand.
And they have the copyright.
We can't just make music. This is what we're doing. This is when I'm like, to me, like music is not just an economy. It's not just receipts and foldable Benjamins and jingling change. Like this is definitely not what the Native Americans or, early Africans or Aborigines or this is not, the Native Americans weren't going, oh, let's check my fake numbers on Spotify. They didn't have that type of imaginary pressure. They didn't have the imaginary pressure of believing, I'm not a real musician. I'm not a real medicine man unless I'm on iTunes or MTV.
Mm-hmm.
Frequency and music have a deeper value than what chart you're on or how many trophies you've won. So sad.
Yeah.
Or who you can sue.
Yeah.
And it is a lot like colonists, where these companies act like they're at war, invading each other's land and absorbing each other's resources, technology, and assets, and then hiding behind paperwork and suing each other like rats and snitches. It's disgusting.
Absolutely. I'm just looking over all the record companies that they didn't say like outright, but I read it in the article. It's just like crazy. The injunction, which you can read in full here, orders Anna's archive to seize all distribution of copyrighted works and prohibits them from hosting, linking to, or facilitating downloads of the scraped recordings.
What a bunch of fucking brats.
Two thumbs down.
But this is the music industry. This is why we cover a lot of stuff. This right here is the core reason why we do this podcast. This bullshit. To show to you guys, to prove to you guys that the music industry is a hacking crime wave, crime spree. Just look. It's embarrassing.
It's a hard shake.
Yup. Snitching, setting each other up, fucking tattletaling. Look, and it filters down, dude. From the smallest bands to the tiniest local rappers, it all filters down to this wannabe, tattletale, stab you in the back, rip up the treaty, surprise attack warlord crap.
Only they can do that to you. You can't do that to them.
And as soon as you stand up for yourself, you're a criminal. Mm-hmm. As soon as you speak out about the music industry, they don't want you to be a part of it. No, we don't want to be a part of it.
No one wants to be.
As soon as you speak out, as soon as you protest,
you're the criminal now.
Right. As soon as you point out what people are doing,
time for you to go
now
to
you're
jail.
fucking radical, right? So the idea is to just be like, to pay your dues and take the abuse, and that is the entry level, that is the installation to freedom and democracy. That's the installation to religion. That's the installation to capitalism. Is following the rules and ignoring protest.
Mm-hmm. Shameful.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just like to show people you don't have to be an expert about this shit. And the other thing is like I don't know if people know that this information is just readily available. This podcast is not about me and Lexi knowing things. It's the opposite of that. It's much more about us learning things right here along with you live.
Yes, that's why we're reading it to you. This is the first time I've ever read any of those articles myself.
There's already enough experts in the music industry on YouTube. Everybody is an expert. Everybody is a master of the game, and everyone is selling the method. We're not selling you anything. I have nothing to sell you. There's no methods here. There's not much to learn from us except learning with us. So when we read these articles, it's not to prove what we know. It's to show you that we are willing to take the time and put in the work right alongside you, and that it doesn't take a college degree. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be at a certain level in the music industry to find out what they're doing. Excuse me. You don't need to be you don't need to satisfy some sort of qualification for you to look up the stunts that they're pulling right here, breaking the law in your own city and state. It's not what we really want to do is encourage people not to just take what we're saying, but even go further. If there's anything that you ever hear on this podcast that's questionable, I hope you're encouraged to look at the article that we put up on the screen and then go do your own homework. Carlos Santana calls out guitarists who play fast. He says, big deal, so what? All the guitar players out there. So I don't know. You're not a guitar player, Lexi, but you've heard a lot of guitar playing. You've seen a lot of guitar players. Are you a fan of fast guitar playing, slow guitar playing? Like, what are you into? From the heart.
To me,
Yeah.
if you're gonna play the guitar, you kind of need to play it all of those sorts of ways. So
Okay.
to me, I don't have a specific favorite or what not to do or what to do.
Okay.
Because if you're playing the guitar, much like
Look at this son
the
of a
drums,
bitch. Excuse
at
me.
some point.
Look at this. See that? That was fucking happening.
What the heck?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Look at that.
That's so annoying.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So to me, much like playing the drums, eventually I'm going to have to at some point hit the snare drum really fast to somebody. Like
Right.
somebody that's going to be really fast.
They should be.
Eventually I'm going to have to do that. Same with the keyboard. I'm going to eventually have to play a really fast scale part. It's just,
Mhm.
it's going to
coming.
be, okay?
Right.
So same with guitar playing, okay? At some point,
Yes.
you're going to have to, whether you like it or not, you're going to have to play something really fast.
So you should be prepared.
You should be prepared and not complain about it. You're a guitar player. Like, you need to play these things, and then you're not playing the guitar.
Let's see what our friend Carlos has got to say. I love Carlos.
He's the best.
One
Of the best, yeah.
of the, for sure, and also one of my mother's favorite guitar players. So
He's
I
cool.
love me some Carlos.
Mhm.
Carlos Santana, and I'm not just saying that generically. Nobody sounds like that guy.
No.
We should listen to some after this, just to get
Familiar.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll smoke one and get on some Carlos for a couple songs. And I'm not talking about Michelle Branch Carlos, although that's fine.
If it's anything like that Steve Vai that you showed me the other day.
You like Steve Vai. Steve's good.
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai's got his own. So, a lot of great guitar players have their own thing. Like, they have their own signature. Like, some people believe that that's what makes a great guitar player. It's not whether they can play fast or slow or any of that.
But if they can play the guitar.
Yes, but in a way that doesn't require reinventing the wheel necessarily or being a virtuoso.
It goes into the delivery.
Yes, the delivery system.
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah, knowing the piece of music, knowing what's right for the music, and being there in the moment. All right, Carlos Santana recently shared his perspective on guitar playing technique versus emotional expression. He criticized musicians who prioritize speed over spirit in a statement featured on Guitar World.
Cool.
The legendary guitarist addressed the difference between technical proficiency and meaningful musical expression. He emphasized the importance of connecting with listeners on an emotional level. I will say this, never has that mattered to me more than now as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that has mattered to me before as a younger player. I was a late bloomer. I didn't start playing guitar into my mid and late 20s. Can you believe that?
Late bloomer?
I was a late bloomer. So, but as I get older, I tend to agree a little bit with Carlos, but I wouldn't swap out speed for it though,
Mm.
He emphasized the importance of connecting with listeners' emotional level, and I agree with him. All right, let's see what he says here. Quote, music isn't a sport at the end of the day. I kind of went into this earlier when I said it wasn't an economy.
Yeah.
He's saying the same thing here. That music isn't a sport. When he's saying that, he's talking about gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the gaming industry and how a lot of things we do now is like tailored to like gaming behaviors. And when I say gaming, I don't mean Halo, Donkey Kong, and Smash Brothers, although we can go there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can go there too. But I meant gaming like a casino.
Mm-hmm.
Big gaming, like gambling on sports and
Mm-hmm.
So when he says here, music isn't a sport at the end of the day, especially for the listener. And I said earlier how streaming companies, Billboard charts, award shows have really made music industry more of a game show, more of a game and lottery. All right? Where it appears that billionaires appear overnight, and success manifests, like it's almost as if people get lucky. You hear about these industry plants and all of this stuff, It's much like it's arguably a lot like gambling or gaming in casinos. Santana said, if you just practice all day and night going really fast, after a while it's a bit like going to the gym and seeing somebody flexing their muscles. Big deal. So what? Playing with spirit is like giving someone a hug that lasts for infinity. Time stops. It's kind of nice. Santana continued to elaborate on what he believes makes music truly memorable and impactful, saying, quote, the only thing people will remember about your music is how you made them feel, he continued. They are not going to remember all the fast scales and, quote, look what I can do moments. but they will remember those 3 notes that made the hairs stand up on the back of their neck and the tears that come out of their eyes, even if they don't know why. There's a whole other element, one that I call spirit. Some people don't know how to play with spirit, heart, and soul. Those are 3 very important ingredients. Yeah, that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah, guys, I can't expect everybody to see the world like that, but I tend to connect with that a little bit. Santana's philosophy reflects his own approach to guitar playing. The approach consistently prioritized emotional connection over technical showmanship throughout his decade-long career. And that, I mean, if his career says anything about it, if his legacy in music...
He definitely plays with spirit, heart, and soul. That's for sure.
That was an incredible little story. I'm glad we went down that road, even though we had to fight for it.
Sometimes you have to fight for the good stuff.
You do. I'm not upset. Hey, somebody had to do it. I'm leaving this one to you.
Okay.
And I'll end it after that.
Okay.
Here you guys go.
ICE's AI tool has been a complete disaster.
Oh.
They were using AI to scan resumes and found out a bunch of the people who were LEOs weren't LEOs.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Right.
This is what happens when you give the crooked police all of the gadgets and AI and unlimited budgets and tools to fucking stalk and harass people, especially in terms of tools on the internet and data mining and data collecting. All right.
Here we go. As headlines teem with stories of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers beating protesters, holding children hostage, and murdering people in cold blood, you might be wondering who the hell hired these guys. As it turns out, AI played a huge role. According to NBC, when ICE identifies a recruit with prior law enforcement experience, it assigns them to its law enforcement officer program. This is a 4-week online course meant to streamline training for those already familiar with the legal aspects of the gig.
Only 4 weeks. Only 4 weeks to train to be one of these fucking psychopaths.
4 weeks.
I just want to throw that out there.
Everyone else gets shipped off to ICE's Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Georgia.
Interesting.
For an 8-week in-person academy. This more rigorous training includes courses in immigration law, gun handling, physical fitness exams, and more. Yet, rather than assign a human to make that call, ICE's Human Resources Department outsourced the task to an untested large language model. This AI system was supposed to scan new recruits' resumes in order to place them in one of the 2 programs.
You're a sick motherfucker. You're a sick motherfucker. You're a real sick motherfucker.
Instead, it automatically flagged the majority of new applicants for the fast track course, regardless of their prior experience.
That means we don't want to look.
Officials familiar with the system told NBC. So either the resume says you have prior experience, you go here to this program, or you may or may not have experience, so you go here to this program, and then AI decides for them, which sends all of them to this 4-week program. That's what I got from that. Whether they have experience or not.
Anytime we have AI and robots that are hiring people or deciding on people's health insurance or AI is choosing, who gets a kidney transplant. I think we've truly walked off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, for sure. They were using AI to scan resumes and found out a bunch of the people who were LEOs weren't LEOs, one official said. Basically, the AI model had approved any resume containing the word officer for the LEO program, which opened the door to anyone from a mall security officer to those who simply wrote about their aspirations to become ICE officers to take the expedited training course. At this point, the agency is said to be actively reassessing its duty rosters to call new recruits back for additional training. The error was first noticed in mid-fall, NBC reports, amidst a hiring surge in which ICE rushed to add some 10,000 officers to its ranks, a quota imposed by the Trump administration. Back in October, MS Now reported that ICE was struggling to meet its hiring goals even after dropping age requirements for new recruits.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. You can't really find a majority of healthy men that are rational and have common sense. If they have those qualifications, they're not going to meet the standard for ICE.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, of course, they're going to lower the age limit. Because young boys don't have common sense. Many of them don't. And that's not a knock on the young bucks. That's just science. A lot of these people, these younger people that join up with ICE, their brains haven't finished developing yet. And you could only take an undeveloped brain and say, jump on a plane, let's go over to Vietnam, let's go over to Europe, and kill people that I've never met before. Only a fucking idiot does stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And take it how you want to. But to me, only a weak follower hops on a plane and then goes shoots somebody. Only a complete psychopath. I've got to update it. Only a complete psychopath that did not have their complete developed brain would hop on a plane, go to another country where somebody else lives, and kill somebody and murder somebody in somebody's family. Go kill a complete stranger because the government has a beef. Not for me. Not for me. I've said it before and I say it again.
Thumbs down, no.
Not for me. So to me, I don't think that they can convince kind, decent, rational young men that have common sense. I don't think you can manipulate them to get on a plane and kill strangers. I think they got more going for them. So I don't, you don't see, even if there's a possibility you're going to kill somebody, why would you want to be involved in that group? I don't know. Not me.
Must have a lot of hate in their heart.
No, that's debatable, but not looking or being like me.
Nope.
There's no way. So I'm going to end it with this because I know that, if anything, do you know what the First Amendment is?
Freedom of speech.
Okay, I think I don't think everybody needs to know all of them, but that's definitely a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody has the ability to get in a line and take a bullet. So that's why the power of protest is really important. And our new song, No Kings, comes out February 11th, and it celebrates the power and freedom of protest. Because the most potent kind of slavery is mastered when the slave no longer knows that he's being enslaved. When the system itself encourages people to not protest. A place and mindset where somebody is so enslaved that they no longer know that they are the slave and give up their power to protest. So those of you who don't know about protesting, I'm going to teach you about it. Some of you are still too proud to truly protest. Because if all it takes is you losing your job for you to quit protesting, then you're not disrupting the system. You understand what I'm saying? If all it takes is your wife or your mom to get mad at you or disappointed at you to prevent you from making a stink, then you aren't really protesting. We need to get this understood. If you're scared to lose your job, or you're scared to get arrested for protesting, you're not really disrupting the system or ready to make a stand. You're not ready for protesting because you're afraid to lose your job, your friends, your comfort, your leisure, and your fragile privilege. Making pretty signs and singing songs in the street is a sign of solidarity, no question. It's a sign of sympathy. But it isn't protesting. If all it takes is for you to be threatened, for you to lose your friends, or for you to lose your job, or get a divorce, then you're not really protesting. It's time to unite now and fight against MAGA. It's time now to fight against MAGA, the new KKK. Fight against the fascist administration, the billionaire Epstein class. Decent people outnumber pedos and pedophile protectors. Decent people outnumber misogynists and homophobes. Outnumber racists. No more negotiations. No more rules. Let's fight them. MAGA isn't going to ask permission, and neither did Jeffrey Epstein. Whoever MAGA thinks they want to fight, those people need to fight them back. Make it your number one priority. I'll see you next week.